What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do 3 looks with a palette that I picked up in my travels throughout the world the other day. I was browsing through Ulta and I saw this BH Color Festival palette and I was like, you know what? I think I want to do 3 looks with that, so I picked it up. When I got it home, I actually hesitated and I didn't wind up making a video with it right away because, I don't know, maybe it's the layout of the colors in here that I just was like, oh, wait a second. I don't know what to do. And something hit me and then I did know what to do and then here we are in this video. I did 3 looks with it. This is meant for festival season, obviously, and it's very colorful, so you could obviously adapt any of these looks to a festival look if you wanted to, or pair them with a more festival outfit if you wanted to, so hopefully that is handy for those of you who are into festival makeup or will be finding yourself at music festivals as the summer rolls on. After I filmed the first look, I realized it's actually very similar to a look that inspired me to do one other look already, so hopefully this is not like too repetitive for you guys, but it was very similar to this look by Orphazinelle, which I absolutely love, and I did a blue liner kind of inspired by this look, but it was very different than this now that I think about it. But yeah, so it's really similar to that. Accidental inspiration there. Love her. Think she's gorgeous. Her makeup is so good. What the fuck? How is your makeup so good? I don't understand. And for the rest of this video, honestly, well, I just kind of went. As usual, we have a lot of looks to get to, so I won't keep us here in the intro too long, but if you don't mind taking a second to do it and you wanted to jump down there right underneath this video and leave a like, I would really appreciate it because it helps me and also lets me know that you like what you're seeing here, the type of content that I'm putting out on this channel, and quite frankly, I would just appreciate it. So if you could do that, it'd be great. And if you're relatively new around here and you haven't found yourself subscribed just yet, I would love to encourage you to do so, because if you don't, your car is gonna smell like farts for 3 to 5 business days. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. All right, that's all we need to get out of the way before we get started. Let's jump in to the first of these 3 looks with the BH Color Festival palette. So for the first look with this palette, I want to do something monochromatic, and I think I want to dive into the blue shades here. So I am going to make these 2 here the focus of the look. Those are called Denim and Hollow. Both of them are shimmer, so I'm going to have to bring some of the other shades in. But those are going to be like the main show, the main event. So picking up my BH number 5 brush, I'm going to start very simply by going into the color Experience right up here and using that through my crease. I dipped it into a shimmery gold by accident. That would have been an egregious mistake. All right, so far that's nicely pigmented and blended very easily, so that's always a good sign. That's a good start. It's been a really long time since I used any BH shadows, so this is gonna be a new experience for me overall. Next, I'm gonna go into the color Chic up here, which is a mid-tone brown matte. On a BH number 7 brush, I'm just gonna use that to deepen the crease area, start to contour my eye socket. I feel like that's not doing much. Maybe it's just a lighter color than I realized. It looks nice, it's just I was expecting that brown to be a little bit darker for some reason. On a Real Techniques brush, I'm going to go into the shade Denim, which is this bright blue, and I'm going to pack that onto the brush, and I'm going to apply that wet with a little bit of Fix Plus because I want it to be very intense, very blue. Ooh, so far we are looking good with that shade. Damn. Woo! 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 Okay, this is so bright and so pretty that I'm actually going to change my plan a little bit and make this a little bit more structured. So I'm picking up this lash line smudger brush from Nabla Cosmetics. I am not going to use it to smudge my lash line though. I'm going to pick up some of the color Denim on that brush and I'm going to wet that. And I'm going to use that shape to edge a line so that it's a little bit above my natural crease, almost making that into like a big giant wing. I'm gonna switch to a Sigma EO6 wing liner brush just to finish the outer corner there just a little bit more precisely. So I cleaned off that same little smudger brush from Nabla, and now I'm gonna go into the shade Hollow. And I'm gonna pop that over the center of the lid to highlight and kind of brighten up the middle portion of this blue. That's pretty, but it's not really quite giving me the level that I'm looking for here, so I'm gonna try wetting this one and see what happens with that. Okay, that's more like it. That's kind of what I was looking for. I'm also going to take this small pencil brush from Nabla and go back into the color Hollow, and I am going to pack some of that on my inner corner. I went ahead and concealed underneath my eyes, and I put a bunch of powder down. The reason being I was getting a little bit of fallout, and I've noticed, just for some reason, this has really come to light recently, but blues, when they give you fallout, get like everywhere and you just can't get rid of them. Like I get like a blue mustache sometimes, I swear to God. I put as much powder down as I could within reason to try to catch it so you can clean it up after. And now I'm going to start with a bright blue waterline. This is the 24/7 pencil from Urban Decay in the color Chaos, which is a really bright blue shade. It's not quite the same type of bright blue that we have going on here. I'm going to sharpen it real quick, by the way. But I think it'll still look real cool. For the lower lash line, it's gonna be very, very simple. I'm just gonna go back into Denim on the same small pencil brush from Nabla, and I am going to just buff that into my lower lash line and bring it out to meet the wing on the top. I'm gonna blend the edge of that with a clean blending brush. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the shade Hollow on a dry pencil brush and just bring that back in the inner corner because I don't have any on the bottom, and I wanted to intensify what I did on the top of the inner corner. I'm gonna go add some lashes and some mascara, finish up this eye, and then we will add a lip. I'm waiting for my lash glue to dry, and as I'm sitting here, I'm like, you know what? Glitter. Glitter would make this even better. So I'm gonna pick up the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in the color Gamma Ray, and I am going to put it over the center of the lid. Doesn't really make it into a glitter wing per se, but it kind of added a little bit of texture, so I'm happier with that now. And I'm going to pop on those lashes now and put some mascara, like I said I was going to, and then I didn't because I stopped for glitter. Okay, 1 second. For the lip, I was originally toying with the idea of doing something really neon to go with this, and then I was toying with the idea of something completely nude, and I really couldn't decide which one made more sense to me, so I decided to go with neither of them, and I'm going to do something a little bit different than I would normally do with a look like this, but I think it will pair well. I'm going to do like a muted brick red, so I'm going to use the Nabla Cosmetics lip pencil in the color Placebo, as well as the Nabla liquid lipstick in the color Hanging Rock. And this is the first look. For look number 2, I really want to play with the pinks in this palette, so I'm going to go into the shade Groove in the center here, and again putting that through the crease and blending it up toward the brow really high, even though it is a very, very bright shade, because I want this to be noticeably very, very pink. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring that color down over the whole lid now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to go into Groove again on a flatter brush, and I'm just going to pack that over the whole lid area right down to my lashes, just real quick to get a base of that color. I'm going to add more other shades to this, but just for a general overall thing, we're starting with this. Next, on a BH number 7 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Sequins. I'm going to use that to deepen up the outer corners and also going to bring it through my crease. On a Real Techniques shading brush, I'm going to go into the shade Candy, which is the shimmer orangey pink. I'm going to wet it, and I'm going to place that right in the center of the lid. Okay, I went ahead and concealed and powdered again. I didn't put quite as much powder this time because we're working with lighter shades, so it's not as necessary to catch any fallout that happens because it is not going to be as obvious. And I'm going to go into the shade Pop this time because I want it to be like a slight color blocking sort of a situation. Although these colors are all going to be in the pink genre, the pink, the little ball of things that we call pink. The lower lash line is going to be a little bit more of like a purple pink, and the top will be more of an orange pink. So I'm taking Pop on a Real Techniques shading brush, and I'm going to start by packing that on the lower lash line, but I'm bringing it down pretty low because I'm going to blend that out really far, and then I'm going to deepen it up with another shade. And again, blending the edge of that with a blending brush. And And on a Luxe 111 mini brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Sequence again, and I'm gonna use that to deepen up the lash line, but it's also going to bring that shade and marry it together with the top half. And if I feel like I lost a little bit too much of pop in the process, which I kind of do, I'm gonna pick up my BH number 7 again, and I'm just going to go back in with that and bring it down even lower. It's a pretty light shade, so you can get away with going real big with it without it like overtaking everything else you did. For the waterline, I'm going to use an iridescent purpley pink shade. This is the Asphyxia pencil from Urban Decay. I'm just going to run it through my waterline with that. And the last thing I want to do before I add lashes to this is brighten up the inner corner. So I'm going to go into this shade Banger, which is like a pink shimmer champagne sort of a shade. I'm picking that up on a pencil brush, and I'm going to pack that right on the inner corner. I went ahead and added a thin line of black liner just to give my lashes something to sit on without looking out of place. But now that I'm looking at it, I think the color Asphyxia would look really cool over the black liner because I've layered this over black liner before and it looks amazing. But you're not going to see most of it. You're only going to see the inner corner. So I'm just going to go over the very inner corner of that black liner with the Asphyxia pencil because it gives a really cool iridescent effect over it. You might not be able to see it from here. It's going to be really subtle because it's such a thin line, but I just thought it would be a cool touch. So that is what I'm doing. I added the House of Lashes Stella Luxe lashes again. I did my highlight with the Mother of Dragon palette from Urban Decay. I used the Balm Girl Powder blush palette again on my cheeks, and I filled in my moles like I usually do with the Urban Decay Brow Blade in the color Brunette Betty. And for my lips, I want to keep it really simple and pink because I feel like the soft, simple prettiness of this pink eye is lovely, and I would love to continue that theme. And I also want to play up a little bit of iridescentness since this is more of like a festival themed palette. I know I don't really do like festival-y type looks, but you know, might as well like use the moment to dive into some fun shimmers and things like that. Not that I don't do that always, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to use the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Lumiere, which is this lovely mauve pink. And I'm going to top it with the Dose of Colors lip gloss in the shade The Most from the Desi Katie Friendcation collab. And this is the second look. Look number 3, I'm gonna do something from this palette that's a little bit on the darker side, but still incorporating some of the brights because I feel like these darker shimmers in here are actually really beautiful and we need to give them their moment to shine, no pun intended. And also, I think it'll go with my shirt. You know, this is not the best way to display a shirt. And you know, honestly, I could just do what makes the most sense and start by going into the shade Experience and putting that through my crease as a transition, but you know, feeling a little funky today, so I'm gonna start with Groove and use that as a transition. So I'm grabbing my BH number 5, just like we did earlier, and I'm going into the shade Groove. I'm gonna start putting that through my crease. And blend the edge of that with a clean blending brush. Next, I'm going to go into this matte shade DJ down here, BH number 7, and I'm going to use that to deepen up the crease. Those two shades aren't really cooperating together as well as I thought they were going to, but it's okay because we can just kind of work with it and make it cooperate eventually just by continuing blending and like adding another color if we need to. But while we're here, I'm also going to pick that same shade up on a pencil brush and pack it on the outer and the inner portion of the eye. I'm just making sure that I don't bring that brown over onto the inner corner area, just really keep it on the lid. I'm gonna go into the shade Sequence, and I'm doing that on a Sigma E36 brush. And I'm gonna go into the area where those two meet and just kind of tickle it in there to make that blend more smooth, because as it stands, it's just not that smooth. It's just not that smooth. Okay, that's better. We're definitely getting somewhere now. I'm picking up that same pencil brush. I just cleaned it off on a sponge in between, and I'm gonna go into this shade called Rage here. This is like the prettiest shimmer in this palette, in my opinion. It's kind of green, it's kind of purple, it's kind of all of those things all at one time. It's got a lot of different shimmery shades in there, and I want it on my lid. So like I said, I'm picking that up on a pencil brush. I'm gonna wet that with a little bit of Fix Plus, and I'm gonna pack it over my whole lid. Actually, that's a lie. I'm gonna pack it over most of the lid. I'm gonna keep it toward the center, and I'm gonna use one of the other shimmer shades on the outer portions, I think. The outer portions of the lid, I think I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is called VIP. Generally, when I do a 3 looks video, I try not to reach for any shadows from anywhere else because I want the 3 looks to be indicative of what you can do with that specific palette. But now that I have this down on my lid, I really feel like a black shadow would make this look so much better. So I'm gonna pick up a black single shadow. This is the Nabla single shadow in the color Pitch Black, and I'm gonna use that on that same little tiny Sigma brush just to deepen up the crease. You could probably deepen up the crease with the dark brown shade in this palette if you wanted to, but I felt like that color wasn't exactly giving me the depth that I want to make that like sultry, deepened crease look happen without getting kind of muddy. So I'm gonna dip into some black. That doesn't necessarily mean it's even the fault of that shadow. It just kind of could be what I chose to combine it with that's not working. But in this moment, I need some black. I need it, and I need it now. I haven't concealed under my eyes yet, but I did take a little bit extra of my concealer and brought it up like onto my inner corner area because I want to make sure we have like a little bit of a blank spot for a brighter shade. So I'm gonna go into this bright neon green yellow chartreuse, if you will, shade right here called Haze, and I am going to use that to highlight my inner corner. I'm picking that up on my Nabla small pencil brush, by the way. Works better than I was expecting it to. It didn't seem like when I picked it up on the brush at first like it was gonna be super pigmented, but it builds really, really beautifully. That's okay, BH. Yes, I am impressed. Concealer, powder, just like the other 2 looks, and I feel like for this look, the best liner for this is going to be one of my recent favorites, the Dragon Smoke liner from the Urban Decay Game of Thrones collection. It is all of the shades that are on my lid right now, pretty much combined into one. On my MAC 221S brush, I'm going to go back into the shade Sequence, and I'm going to use that to start blending out the lower lash line a little bit. And to define the lower lashes like right at the base of the lash line, I'm picking up a little bit more of that Nabla Pitch Black on a Makeup Geek pencil brush. I'm just going to smudge that right into the lower lash line. Bring it right around that little hook of the end of the eye and blend it up into the top. I'm gonna finish off this side, add mascara lashes, finish the skin, and we'll move on to a delicious lip to go with this look. Stella Luxe lashes, Linda blush from MAC, freckles on the nose area are from the Brow Blade, again, Brunette Betty, and I highlighted with the Cover FX Face Perfector palette. For the lips, I want to try a new product that I got in my Sephora VIB order. This is one of my favorite gloss formulas in the world, the Bite Beauty French Press Gloss, but I got a new shade. This is the shade Salted Caramel, and I think that this will be a absolutely delectable nude to pair with this look because I feel like this look, it needs a nude. By the way, I'm so in love with how this green looks with those lid colors. So I'm gonna line my lips with the Touch Me lip pencil from Nabla, and then I'm gonna go over them with the Salted Caramel French Press Gloss. And this is the third look. I After 3 whole looks with this palette, my initial thought is that this palette's kind of bomb. Like I mentioned when I was doing this look, I really think a matte black shade could have made this palette a little bit more complete, because the darkest matte shade in here is this brown shade DJ, and it's a lovely shade, but it doesn't really deepen things enough. I think, and now maybe call me crazy, and one day maybe when I make my own eyeshadow palette, I will be able to live up to this standard. I think that you should always have one matte shade that is darker than all of your shimmer shades. Does that make sense? I feel like that is a formula for success in a palette. There was a little bit of fallout with this palette, but not anything that was like detrimental. I definitely would recommend doing your concealer after though. The arrangement of colors in here is actually really much more interesting than I was expecting it to be. When I looked at this palette in the store, when I first picked it up, I was like, this could either be super fun or super boring, and I'm not sure which it's gonna be yet, but because these colors really seem to pop, especially the shimmers, holy shit, like denim is so bright, like it's so damn bright. Hollow is really pretty. I think this one was a little bit less exciting than I was expecting it to be, but it was really nice. These shimmers over here, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and all of the mattes perform really well, so I really have no complaints with that at all. The shade that really impressed me besides denim, because that was the shit, but haze. It's really hard to get a vibrant matte bright green like this to actually look vibrant and matte and bright green on the skin. A lot of times they blend away or start to like take on the skin tone underneath too much and don't really look as vibrant. But like, I don't know how much it's picking up on camera, but this is pretty damn neon in person, so very, very impressive. I also think I did a very good job of coordinating this with my shirt. But yeah, overall, I think this palette's really great. If you're looking for a palette that is bright, but also has some like interesting darker shades in it that you can kind of combine the two, maybe do a couple more interesting out of the box color combos and stuff, I think this palette is an absolute delight, and it is pretty budget friendly at only 20 bucks. So overall, I'm very, very happy with my purchase. Please do not forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking just a little second to do it, because it helps me and I would really appreciate it. So thank you in advance for that. Also, if you are new here, I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe, because like I said earlier, the farts in the car thing, but also because I would love to have you around for more videos. To keep up with me between videos, go find me on other social media, but mostly I'm over on Instagram. I am at Miss Quinface, and you should check my page out for lip art and funky things that look a little bit like this over here. It's a good old time. I do post close-ups of the makeup that I do here on this channel, but I post more stuff that is just like, you know, a little bit more out there too. So if you're into that kind of thing, come find me. Also, I keep my stories updated with my PR unboxings, things that are coming down the line here on this channel. I run polls about what you guys want to see. We do Q&As, all that fun shit. So come follow me on Instagram if you would like to be a part of that. I would love it if you didn't miss out on all those good times. I think that is all I have to say for today. I hope you enjoyed these 3 looks. Please let me know in the comments down below if there are any palettes or collections or anything that you are super pumped for, you want to see videos about. Personally, I am all over those new Fenty liners that are coming out. I will be taking my little bum to the store immediately when those come out, so expect a video on those. But yeah, let me know what you're excited to see in the upcoming months, summer releases, that kind of thing. I think that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed these 3 looks. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.